You know, for over 80 years now, there's been one book that's been quietly creating millionaires. It's called Think and Grow Rich. And it wasn't just some book somebody wrote down. Nope. It was the result of a 20-year mission to get inside the minds of the world's most successful people. And today, right now, we are going to unlock that very secret.
The entire story really kicks off right here, with a challenge. You've got the steel magnate Andrew Carnegie, one of the richest men in history, and he puts this young journalist, Napoleon Hill, to the test. He basically says, I want you to spend 2 decades studying over 500 self-made millionaires and boil it all down to one single philosophy of success that anyone can use.
And Hill, he took him up on it. Now, throughout the entire book, he teases this one secret that ties all the principles together. But here's the thing. He never actually names it. He believed that if you are ready, you just get it. You discover it for yourself. So what is this powerful, life-changing secret that's been working for almost a century? Well, it all starts with the very first principle.
Okay, so the first clue, and this is the absolute foundation of everything. It isn't luck, it's not your education, it's not even how hard you work. Hill is crystal clear on this. It all begins with a burning, all-consuming desire. And honestly, there's no better way to understand this than with the incredible story of a man who literally thought his way into a partnership with one of the greatest inventors ever, Thomas Edison.
So let me introduce you to Edwin C. Barnes. This guy wasn't just a fan of Edison. No, he was completely possessed by one single definite purpose. And this is a really important distinction. He didn't just want to work for Edison. He was dead set on working with him as a partner. That specific, laser-focused goal, that's the first key.
And here's what's so wild. Look at the obstacles he was up against. Barnes had 0 money and 0 connections. For most of us, that's game over, right? But his desire was so intense that he just hopped a freight train. He showed up at Edison's office looking, as Edison himself said, like an ordinary tramp. He basically burned all his bridges. There was no plan B.
And this part is so telling. Edison didn't hire Barnes because of his clothes or his resume. He hired him because he saw this unshakable look in his eyes. He saw a guy who had already made up his mind that he was going to succeed no matter what it took. That kind of determination, it's practically a force of nature.
But, and this is a big but, success wasn't instant. This is where persistence comes into play. For 5 long years, Barnes was doing menial jobs around the office, just waiting, putting himself in the right place for when the right time came. He never lost sight of the goal. And then finally, his big break showed up, disguised as a new invention nobody else believed in, the Ediphone. Barnes knew, he just knew, he could sell it. And he did. He sold it so well that Edison made him his exclusive national partner, and Barnes became a very, very rich man.
So the story of Barnes shows you the why. It shows you the raw power of having a burning desire. But Hill doesn't just leave you there. He gives you the practical how. This isn't just about wishing for things. It's a concrete 6-step formula to turn that idea in your head into cold, hard cash in your pocket.
Now, what makes this method so potent is that it's designed to literally program your subconscious mind. See, it forces you to go from a vague wish, like, I want to be rich, to a definite, actionable target that your brain can actually lock onto. Every single step, from writing it down to reading it out loud with feeling, is about building a mental blueprint that shifts your mindset from just wanting to absolute knowing.
All right, so desire is the starting line. The 6 steps are the car, but faith is the fuel. And Hill's definition of faith is really specific. This has nothing to do with religion or superstition. It's a powerful psychological state that you can actually build on purpose.
He calls faith the head chemist of the mind. Think of it like this. Faith is the special ingredient that mixes with a thought and gives it life, turning a passive little idea into an active, unstoppable force. So how do you get it? Through auto-suggestion, which is basically step 6 of the formula, by repeatedly telling your subconscious what you believe over and over until it accepts it as a fact.
And right here, Hill gives a critical warning. He says your subconscious mind is like a fertile garden. It'll grow whatever seed you decide to plant. It doesn't care if that seed is a constructive thought about success or a destructive thought of fear. It will just get to work tirelessly to make either one your reality. The choice of what you plant, well, that's completely up to you.
Okay, so we've got desire, the 6-step method, and we've got faith. When you start to put all these pieces together, the secret that Andrew Carnegie tasked Napoleon Hill with finding, it finally starts to come into focus.
So let's be super clear. The secret isn't some magic word or a secret handshake. It's this system. It's the understanding that you can consciously pick a definite purpose, pour an intense, burning desire into it, mix it with unshakable faith, and then back the whole thing up with a persistent plan. This is the formula that Hill saw again and again and again in the lives of every successful person he studied.
This one line, it really says it all. Your world on the outside, whether it's full of abundance or full of scarcity, is just a mirror reflecting your world on the inside, reflecting the dominant thoughts you choose to hold in your mind. You're the master of your fate because you are the master of your thoughts.
And in the end, that is the powerful and maybe even a little intimidating question that Think and Grow Rich leaves us with. If your thoughts truly create your reality, and you have the absolute power to choose your thoughts, then the only question left to answer is, what reality are you going to choose to create? What thought will you choose to make real?